Beard Summit, episode 5. Welcome. We're back.
Are back. It's
Ben.
been a little bit of a
Little bit of a break.
bit of a hiatus,
Bit of a break.
but a lot of things have happened
Oh my
since
gosh.
then.
Oh my gosh.
Most-
I'm gonna get right to it.
Most notably,
I am pissed off. I got some things to say today.
Steve is upset.
Do you know Darren McKee
Darren,
goes by the name of Dmac? His pen name?
don't need to shout.
Oh my
I'm right
God,
here.
I hate this guy with an undying passion. When he it's coming to a point where when he opens his mouth, I can't listen to him. I have to turn off my radio, which sucks because I like listening to sports radio. But when Darren talks, my body cringes. It cringes. I hate him so much, right? So we'll go to the Broncos draft, in a sec, but
let's get this off the chest. You seem like you're harboring some ill will towards the
gosh.
man.
So
What happened? Tell us about it, Steve.
everyone in the world, right, thinks the Broncos did like an A minus of the draft, right? Dmac is the only one on the planet Earth who thinks the Broncos did like a D or like a C minus. All because of the fact we didn't take a quarterback. We'll go back into a little bit, but what really pissed me off, right? I'm driving to the airport yesterday. I'm picking up my fiance. She's just came back from Chicago. Dmac goes into this rant about private schools competing in the state of Colorado. Now, you and I went to a private school in high school.
Hold on, he doesn't like it?
No, I'm
Okay, we'll
building
get there.
up.
Sorry.
Building up.
Sorry. We did.
Just for a frame of reference, you and I went to Holy Family High School, right?
Indeed.
Shout out to, the Ho Fam Tigers. We
Woo.
love them. We are one. We're alum, right?
We're two.
We're two. We love them. DMAC was saying that Valor Christian, right, this new powerhouse school in the Denver area, in the Colorado area, they are cheating because they're able to throw a lot of money at their football program because they are a private institution, right? And I'm not sure if you looked at the head coaching staff or the staff in general of Valor Christian High School football.
Not recently.
But the head coach is Ed McCaffrey, right? He has assistants of Brandon Stokely,
Okay.
Tyler Columbus,
Okay.
and Ben Hamilton, all of which were NFL football players for the Denver Broncos, and I think they combined for like 100 and some odd years of NFL experience. DMAC doesn't like this, right? He says it's an unfair advantage to this private school and does not believe that private schools should be allowed to compete in Colorado. So he does not want to see Valor Christian compete against the Fairviews, the Cherry Creeks, the Thunder Ridge, Pomona.
Where's his kids go to school?
I think Smoky Hill.
Smoky Hill.
I've never even heard of Smoky Hill. There's probably a reason for that. They suck. Who cares if a private school, if you're the best team in the state of Colorado, right? Which Valor Christian wasn't last year, by the way. I think Grandview won the 5A title in football, right? So, but if you are the best high school team, regardless if it's basketball, football, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, men or girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be allowed to compete for the state championship,
Yeah.
right?
I am 100%.
But because us private school kids, we have this unfair advantage, which I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just money. But Darren fails to recognize that, our families pay for us to go to the school. My moms and dads, we shovel out this absurd, a lot of money so we can attend these great institutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to get mad at someone, don't get mad at Ed McCaffrey because he's coaching at Valor Christian. Get mad at the parents for shoveling out $20K a year where their kids are going to school. Right? I just don't get it. Are you mad because a private institution has better education or that a higher percentage of their kids graduate and go to college? Is that why you're mad? Because your Smoky Hill kid might get his butt kicked by some Christian kids who happen to have some better coaching staff at Valor Christian. On top of that, you really think Ed McCaffrey and Brandon Stokely and Tyler Columbus and Ben Hamilton are really coaching at Valor for the money? Come on, dude.
If there's one thing I know about past Super Bowl champions, they're all very poor.
Right?
And they're scraping by for high school coaching salaries.
If you go to the NFL, if you're in the NFL,
someday
you are below minimum wage. You are scraping by.
Someday you could be a high school head coach.
Oh my God, dude. I couldn't believe it when I hear it. He honestly said on local, national, whatever you want to call it, radio yesterday, that private school kids should not be allowed to compete in the state of Colorado against the public school system.
Sounds like he's sipping on some Faderade.
I don't know what it is, man. The guy is just, he's loony. And he was building this stuff up. Today, he accused of a guy, Denver resident, of calling Colin Kaepernick a thug as a racist. Just throwing racist out like Halloween candy, right? Without even knowing the guy, which is just dangerous in itself.
Do you think he started to take the antagonist role a little too seriously, though? I feel like you can't have two guys. There's a reason you and I are not on 104.3 The Fan.
Because we speak common sense.
At the primetime spot.
Right.
Because we'd be like, hey, the Broncos did a good job. Let's see what happens.
Right.
And that's it.
No,
he's got to like egg people on.
I completely
people
agree.
Out here ranting like this.
Maybe that's what. Maybe he's told. Like, hey, you got to say this because
it pisses people off.
Right. And we need listeners. We need tweets. We need all. I mean, it's very possible.
Yeah. Or he's just a dick.
See, I like that second option because I think he is a dick. But that is my daily Dmac rant.
You did get in a Twitter argument with him, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, that was about the draft, right?
Okay.
So the Broncos.
Let's walk through that one. There's a lot to unpack on that.
The Broncos, in my opinion, and literally everyone on the planet, including most people at 104.3 The Fan, and from NFL Network to ESPN to your local average Joe podcasters like you and I think that the Broncos did a very good job. Darren is under the impression that we did a horrible job, but I'm looking at our draft class, man, and I'm seeing playmakers absolutely all over the place. I mean, your first overall pick, Bradley Chubb, NC State. There's people out there who said that if he was in last year's draft, he's taken number 1 overall ahead of Myles Garrett. Second round pick, Cortland Sutton, wide receiver out of SMU. He's Demaryius Thomas. He's a big-bodied receiver. Looks like he should play basketball. Third round pick, our first pick of the third round, Royce Freeman, all-time leading rusher in Oregon history. Big dude, 6 foot, 240 pounds. The guy can carry the rock like a man. Starters, right? These are 3 starters. I mean, Bradley Chubb may not see the field immediately. I still think it's going to be Von Miller and Shane Ray to start off the games, but Bradley Chubb's going to get reps, right? Every single game, he's going to see the field. So I see that he is a starter. He's going to see a whole bunch of reps. He's going to see.
I mean, first round picks in general in the NFL, like you're going to play.
Right. So Bradley Chubb is going to see the field every single day. So he might not be on the first play when the game starts, but he's going to see the field and he's going to get, 20 to 30, even more than that reps every single game. Easily. Easily. Cortland Sutton's going to compete for a starting job, right? Sanders moves into the slot. I know he doesn't want to. Cortland Sutton compared to Demaryius Thomas on the outside. Great thing. Royce Freeman, he could easily start above Devontae Booker.
Okay, so we're getting away from this, though. How did you get into it with DMAC?
So he was saying that the Broncos did horrible because we didn't take a quarterback at the number 5 pick, right?
Okay.
His argument was that we need to take, I think, Josh Rosen, that punk quarterback out of UCLA. Okay. At the number 5 pick. He says we're going to regret it, right?
Okay.
Josh Rosen, I think, went number 10 to the Arizona Cardinals, I believe. And Josh Rosen threw a hissy fit that he went number 10, told everyone that every team that passed on him was going to regret it. The kid's a punk. He's had attitude problems in college. He can make every throw. He is small. He's kind of skinny. But the kid has an attitude problem, right?
Yeah.
And there's reports out there that he's just not coachable.
Which, I mean, an attitude problem in the NFL seems to sink careers faster than anything.
Right. Exactly. And there's been quarterbacks
Johnny
taken.
Manziel.
Yeah. And there's perfect example. And there's been examples of quarterbacks taken in the top 10 where teams reach and tons of drafts going back where they just don't work out. Right.
Was Marcus Russell.
Right. And Jake Locker, for example. These guys were just failures.
Yeah.
They did not work out. Teams reached bad. The Broncos, in my opinion, got arguably the best or the second best player overall in this draft. Behind, if you could debate who the best player is between Saquon Barkley, running back out of Penn State, and Bradley Chubb. Broncos did amazing in that pick, but because we didn't take a quarterback, Dmac felt that we did horrible in this draft. And I just kind of... He was writing paragraphs to me about this.
What did he say?
In tweets. I didn't know what I was talking about. We didn't take a quarterback, so we're stuck with 5. For 5 years, we're stuck with our quarterback situation the way it is, which is retarded because every single year...
There's a draft.
There's a draft in free agency, and the quarterback situation across the league changes.
Yeah.
It does every single year. So say for some weird reason that now we're stuck with Case Keenum, Paxton Lynch, and Chad Kelly, the way it is for 5 more years is asinine.
Yeah.
And there's no
I'm
evidence.
sure that he said that last year. And this is why I think that he's just being a troll to piss people like you off. Because I feel like every single year he comes out and he's like, if we don't do exactly what I want to do right now, we're going to be stuck for a millennium with what's happening at quarterback. I'm sure he said this last year. Like, I am pretty sure I remember him saying it word for word, that if we didn't start Paxton Lynch, that we were setting the whole thing back 5 years because he wanted to start Paxton the whole time.
Right.
He's like, screw it, let's just go for it. And we're like, no, let's go with the best quarterback.
Let's see if we can win games.
Turns out all of our quarterbacks are terrible. So it's
to
kind
put
of
it nicely. Yeah.
It's kind of a wash at the end of the day, no matter what.
But we picked up Case Keenum. It's obvious.
Like we went out of our way to get him.
Right. Elway and Co.
likes him.
Believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ride with him.
Yeah. I mean, Elway didn't believe in anyone last year.
No.
And I mean, for good reason. In hindsight,
they all sucked.
And so he was right about that.
5-11.
Like, it sucks that we couldn't find anything else.
Right.
But he was right about the fact that they were terrible.
Yeah.
And that it was time to look for something else. And he's confident in this guy. The last guy he was confident in, Mr. Peyton Manning.
Wait.
So,
who's that guy?
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Who's Peyton?
Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, right. That guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that he went out of his way, we got to trust Elway a little bit because last year he was a little handcuffed at what he had. And he's not a let's make it work with what we have kind of guy. He's a I'm going to go out and get somebody I like kind of guy.
Yeah, I agree.
So the fact that he went out and picked a quarterback by hand that he wanted in Denver, I feel like we got to give him the benefit of the doubt and brush off last year. Now, if this doesn't work out, then we can start thinking about obviously Peyton Manning was a good pick. Like that's a gimme. If this one doesn't work out, if we're not playoff contention this year, then we'll start talking about whether or not John Elway can make quarterback decisions.
Right. Or any decision for that matter.
Decisions. But
looking at this draft, man, I see our first through our 8 picks as contributors almost immediately. You know, like they're going to have an effect on this team. The Broncos, in my opinion, have the best pass rush in all of the NFL. Picking up Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Shane Ray, Shaq Barrett. Are you kidding me?
CSU?
I know, right? Shaq Barrett, he's still a sleeper in all this. That kid can ball.
The dude plays. He plays hard. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get more offensive linemen.
We did just pick up one.
Did we?
We did.
Recently?
In the draft.
When?
He was our 8th pick overall.
Oh, okay.
He came out of the 6th round.
I'm surprised we didn't get anything higher, honestly. I'm surprised it wasn't top 3.
See, that decision is one that is shared by a lot of people, me included. I thought we were going to get one in the 2nd round or the 3rd round. But we took the best player available in Cortland Sutton, that wide receiver.
Yeah. That goes back to what we were talking about last week. If they're gonna try and draft the positions they needed or go for the best players. And it seems that they went for the best players.
That Sam Jones kid is actually a Colorado boy. He went to Thunder Ridge High School.
Thunder Ridge.
Played at Arizona State. He's 6'5", 305 pounds. A guard.
He's guard.
He's a guard.
He's a guard.
He's a guard. But like I said, he's going to compete for a starting job. I have no faith in Max Garcia. Connor McGovern is he played well for us last year. I don't know if he's going to start at either left or the right guard. Ronald Leary will be one of them, where it's Connor McGovern at the left guard. We'll see. But Sam Jones was a good pick because I think he kind of, he just strengthens that position. You have some good depth now, right?
Yeah.
Sam Jones, he's a mean kid. He plays pissed off. He doesn't quite have the great feet, but he is athletic. The kid can move. But with some good coaching and some time, Sam Jones can be a good player in the NFL.
Are you worried about our offensive line coaching? They didn't make any big moves from last year.
Well, they fired the guy.
Did they?
They got a new head coach.
Shows how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah. What are you doing, guy?
Tell me what's happening.
I don't know the name of the guy right off the top of my head, but Vance Joseph did pretty much cleared house, man.
Okay.
Of all of our coaching staff.
That went pretty under the radar.
Yeah, pretty much. When Vance Joseph found out that he was going to stay in Denver, when Elway had to sleep on it for 24 hours if he was going to fire him or not, and found out he was staying, Vance said, all right, screw this. This isn't working. Pretty much fired everybody. He kept Bill Musgrave on as the offensive coordinator, and he kept Joe Woods on as the defensive coordinator, I believe. So, everyone else, all the assistants,
Gone. Nice.
gone.
I mean, we need a fresh slate.
No, I agree with you.
After a year like
Needed
last
some
year,
new blood.
You got to do it.
This is Denver, dude.
You got to win.
We win football games. We compete for championships. We don't just 5-11 crap.
Yeah.
So, got some playmakers though, dude. I'm happy with this draft. Like I said, my sleeper pick, right? The number 5 pick that we had, Josie Jewell, linebacker out of Iowa in the 4th round. This kid's a tackling machine. A 3-time captain, All-American in the senior year. The dude just plays hard, reckless abandon. Just hurts people. I think he's going to be a day 1 starter. And if not, on the defense, he's definitely going to contribute to special teams. But we have players like that literally all over the place in this draft. So I think Elway and Co. did a damn good job. Obviously, doesn't mean anything until we start, playing some real games that actually matter. But I'm pretty damn happy with how things went.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Playmakers. Shut up, Dmac.
Yeah, it's so funny you got into a Twitter battle with him.
Dude, this guy sucks. Everything about him sucks.
I mean, and what does it speak to his character that he's like, well, I'm going to go home after a long day of slaving over a hot mic and just roast people on Twitter as best I can.
Right, he just trolls people.
Yeah.
That's all he does. I honestly think that Darren would rather see the Broncos lose than for Darren to be wrong about something.
It's probably better for his career if they do.
Honestly?
Then he can be a pessimist all day
Right.
and then claim that he was right about things.
And his colleagues, man, even his colleagues like Mark Schlereth, right? Mike Evans.
Love Schlereth.
I love Stank, dude. He literally says, like, DMAC, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You are dumb. And here's why. When your colleagues are saying, if 100 people are saying you're drunk, maybe you should sit down, right? Nope, not DMAC.
If Mark Schlereth tells me I'm drunk,
I'm going to give him a hug. Because I'm somewhere where Mark Schlereth is.
come here, stink.
Number 69. God, he's awesome.
He is awesome. Open invite to come on the podcast, Mr. Mark
You
Schlereth,
should.
if you're
I
listening.
would love to get him on here.
The Rockies are doing pretty well, too.
They are. They kind of got out of a weird little slump they're in where I guess no one could hit the ball.
Yeah, that's
of the
nice to see.
infield,
Hit a couple home runs
Yeah.
the other night.
What, 2 games above 500?
Story crushed one.
Did he?
Did you see that?
I did not.
Hit it. Nolan hit one out of Cubs Field.
I saw that one.
Wrigley
I
Field.
saw that one.
And Trevor put one 3/4 of the way up in the stands too, and it was a
Damn.
no doubter.
Really?
But, it's good to see the boy hit.
That follows my my theory on Story. If
Home
he's
run
not
or
hitting a
bust.
home run, he's striking out.
Well, the second game of the Cubs series, Gray pitched to Dem.
Yeah, he
It
did.
was a great
It
game.
was good to see him back in form.
Yeah, 1 run for the whole thing. Like
I think
pitching
only
looked
two,
great.
2 or 3 hits.
Yeah,
Not
something
much,
like that.
man.
It
He
wasn't
did great.
much, but in typical Rockies fashion, we got it was 3-1. We got 3 runs.
Oh gosh.
They were all single run home runs.
Do we get the win?
We got the win.
We got the win.
So I mean, count it. We're 2 games above 500.
Yep.
We're still like 4.5 back of the Diamondbacks, but long season.
Still ahead of San
We got
Francisco
time.
and the Dodgers did.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yep.
And the Diamondbacks are just playing out of this world.
God,
so.
it would be nice to win the division one time.
Just once.
Just one time. And I feel like that's not asking for much in 25 years.
I know, right?
Just be the best.
Just
like, you
one
can-
time,
should
guys.
accidentally
Just
be the
one
best team one time.
Coming back to Denver, though, couple series against the Angels and Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Bud Selig's pride and joy.
Yeah, so let's go out to one. Let's see one.
Absolutely.
Let's see these boys play.
Maybe we should get a coalition.
We should.
All of the listeners.
We're going.
So you, me, our moms.
Shout
Shout out to the moms.
Love you, Mom. The whole 10 people?
Yeah.
Whatever. We're going.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Official Beard Summit Rockies game.
God, I love it.
Put it
I love it.
on the calendar. Man, a lot of shit's happened in the current events since last we checked in as well.
The whole world just turns upside down.
Every
5
48
days.
hours.
It's just a 180.
Total
I
180.
think we're going this way. No, hard right. Well, how do you feel about
And leading the way as always, Mr. Kanye West.
dude?
Ever since he got back on Twitter, it was my favorite thing in the world. I love Kanye. Kanye makes me happy.
He said some really dumb shit in
He
the
says
past,
so much dumb shit, but he says what's in his heart.
dude.
That's all he knows how to do.
I don't know what to think about Kanye.
Let me tell you,
Tell me.
love Kanye.
Don't have his music?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. My most listened to playlist on Spotify is called Yeezus, and it's just every song that he's ever made, personally put together by myself. Even though you can just go and hit listen to artist.
Okay.
I took the time
Okay.
because I love me some Kanye. But I mean, has he said some dumb shit before?
Yes.
Of course he has. The George Bush doesn't care about black people thing.
That was a bad one.
Hilarious, though.
Yeah, not sure I agree with that one.
But it was hilarious.
Okay.
He got everybody's ear.
Yeah, he did.
He got everybody's ear when he did the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, that was really funny. That was the best.
The
thing.
man knows how to get attention.
He does.
I hope that his newfound love of common sense is genuine. I think he's got a CD coming out soon, so it might just be a publicity stunt. And if so, bravo. Very smart.
Yeah. Get paid, dude.
Get paid. But I don't know. I've always felt an odd kinship with Mr. West.
Well, get him on the show, man.
Kanye, if
You're his
listening,
boy.
come on in.
What did he say?
So-
I kind of got everyone in a...
So it started out, he said, I like the way Candace Owens thinks. Candace Owens, also known as Red Pill Black, is a conservative commentator.
Right.
And her whole thing is basically like, hey, African American people, the Democrats have done nothing for you in the last 70 years.
Right.
Why don't we think about this a little more logically and kind of take control for ourselves, like take responsibility for ourselves. Maybe the culture that we've built isn't the best thing.
Isn't working.
Maybe it's not putting us in the best position. Let's reevaluate some of the things that we have believed for the last 60 years because they're not helping. Like we had a black president. Everyone thought that was going to get better. It only got worse. Like let's reevaluate a little bit. And Kanye is friends with Trump. So he said that, and then everyone started making fun of his, like, the fact he went to Trump Tower right after Trump got elected.
Right.
And he just doubled down on it, and he was like, I love Trump. He was wearing MAGA hats.
Yeah.
He did a rap debate with T.I.
That's amazing.
Where, yeah, he got up there, and T.I.'s like, you're selling out everyone who loves you. And he's like, no, I'm just trying to make them think.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it is interesting.
Rap debates. I mean,
I'm just not sure how to what if he actually understands what he's saying. Like slavery was a choice. I'm not sure if I understand that one.
I think this might be myself projecting my thoughts on Kanye, but
you're his boy.
But what that seemed like to me is he was saying slavery ended 200 years ago. So if you're still using that as a crutch, if you're still blaming your circumstances on something that hasn't been alive since your great-great-great-grandfather was around, you're making a choice to let it keep you down.
I can see that.
That it wasn't the most coherent thing, but he's not the most coherent guy.
You're going to have to read between the lines with that one.
Yeah. You can definitely project your own feelings on Kanye however you
I wish he
feel.
would clarify that.
Yeah, well, he that's not what he does.
Because he had the first thing that came out before the slavery was not a choice. Was I'm supporting Donald Trump because I just have my own opinions, and I think for myself, which I agree with. You know, I support everyone to think for themselves and not blindly believe hashtags.
This is going to be a first for me.
Oh, gosh.
Kim Kardashian did something well.
No.
And I fully respect her for it. She, when the whole Kanye thing started breaking, of course, like, she is the hub of the liberal media. Like, BuzzFeed, all those people worship her. They're always doting on her no matter what.
Right.
And so they came out and they're like, Kanye, your husband is being ridiculous. Like, what do you have to say about this? And she backed him up 100%. She was like, hey, we might not agree on everything politically, but he's saying what he feels right now. He's being a genuine person. I fully support him. Like, backed him up 100%. I didn't see it coming at all. When I heard that she made a statement, I was like, oh, God. She's throwing him under the bus for Kardashian ratings. But a little bit of backbone.
Impressive.
From Kim Kardashian.
Of all people, yeah.
I feel like the culture is doing this weird thing.
Slow shift.
They're just tired of
crap.
Like, I mean, that's what
unbased.
That's what they've been shoveling for so long, you know?
Right.
They're like, you have to let boys into girls' locker rooms.
Right.
And people are like, I don't think so. And they're like, you're racist.
What?
Sexist? Transphobic? They just throw them at you, and everyone's
Right.
like, well, that's kind of bullshit, but we'll let it slide. And like, after a while, you're just like, well, maybe we shouldn't let this slide anymore. Let's actually have a conversation about this, because you are making some very dumb and easily refutable points.
Yes.
There's no difference between men and women.
Right.
You should be able to shoot your 2-year-old up full of hormones if they say, Daddy, I'm a girl, I'm a boy, whatever. Like, oh, well, she's not what her sex is, so.
He has a wiener, but.
Thinks he's a girl. Let's jack him full of hormones.
Right.
Like.
Because a 2-year-old knows best.
Like, you can't vote until you're 18.
Right.
Why would you let people make decisions where they're like, yeah, cut off my dick. I know I'm 6, but I like wearing mommy's heels, so let's lop this thing off. And you're like, oh, yes, that's the best decision you could make. Way to go, little Charlie, or should I say Charlize?
Ooh.
You.
It's a nice name, though.
Are an independent woman at 6 years old. Now I'm going to watch and make sure you potty correctly.
Sit down, boy. Girl. Well, I hope Conway is this transcendent across all of our culture. Like
he is. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
My goodness. Speaking to that, girls singing their boys singing their girls, and me thinking I'm a toaster oven. The Boy Scouts are no longer the Boy Scouts. They are
the Scouts.
The Scouts.
Yeah.
But the Girl Scouts are still the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, they're pissed. They are pissed about this.
So I just don't get it.
Well, of course.
Boys can't be boys, but girls can be girls?
You can't have anything be men only. Like, male camaraderie is the most probably attacked thing in America right now. Like, you just can't be a dude that wants to hang out with dudes. You want to go to a golf club that's only men? Nope, gotta have girls. Right. You want to do anything that's only men? Nope, gotta have girls. Boy Scouts? Why don't we call it the Scouts?
The Scouts.
The Scouts. Scouts honor.
Right.
Yeah, it seems to be like California was gonna revoke their tax exempt status because they only allowed boys, and that's really what caused them to do this. But I worked at a Boy Scout camp for a summer, and they were kind of going that way anyway. Right. Like, I remember doing Boy Scouts a little bit, and it wasn't for me, but
I got bored with it.
Yeah, but it was like, hey, let's go out to the woods. Let's learn how to make a fire with a flint. Like,
let's all hang out at someone's house and learn about weird stuff.
Yeah, just like stuff. Like survival. Right. Like those kind of things. And they're like, well, girls like those kind of things too. Yeah. There's a thing for that. It's called the Girl Scouts. And I mean, as much as in their inception, the Girl Scouts were like baking and sewing, and at the beginning, that's like what they did. That's what their merit badges are. Now, a lot of the stuff they do is very similar. So the
Right.
Girl Scouts are pissed about this because they're like, we do this too. And women's empowerment, wasn't that a thing like
Right.
10 seconds ago? But so now they're worried that because the Boy Scouts are now the Scouts, they're going to start losing membership. And
See, I don't know. I almost kind of think that girls in the Girl Scouts will be like, wow, I want to go hang out with a bunch of boys when all my friends are with the girls.
yeah, it
I
just
don't
seems
know.
like they're trying to blur that line between what's manly and what's feminine.
Or the fact that boys will do things that are what boys do
Yeah.
growing up, and girls will do things that are what girls do. And
Have you heard of Christina Hoff Sommers?
I have not.
She is a second wave feminist. So unlike the third wave feminists of today, one that's just like, hey, girls should have every opportunity, but not at the expense of anyone else.
Right.
Like, just because you have an opportunity doesn't mean you need to take it from somebody. Like,
Right.
make your own opportunity.
Right.
She came out with a book called The War Against Boys, and it's basically talking about how schools today and offices today and everything is kind of focusing towards the way that girls learn.
Right.
And it's definitely helping young women to get through these things that before they might have had some barriers to entry, but the toll it's taking on boys is crazy, because when you have a little guy that wants to go run around and
Dirt.
throw mud balls and do
Right.
all that, they're like, has problem behaviors, and then they pump him full of Ritalin,
Right.
and it's a freaking epidemic right now.
Right. It's not okay to be male.
That's what it seems like, is what
If you want to be a
moving
boy
towards.
growing
Yeah.
up, if you want to be how you and I experienced our childhood, that is not okay.
Just sit down, be quiet, focus. If you can't do that, here's some Ritalin,
Right.
some
Right.
Adderall. Just sit there quietly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's an obvious difference between boys and girls, and science kind of proves that. So why we're trying to change that?
Well, and it's funny too, coming
Right.
from the people that are like, you're anti-science.
Right.
Also, there's no difference between men and women.
Right. What?
Uh,
No. It's pretty obvious. There is.
I saw this one Twitter interaction. It's a couple months old at this point, but there was this guy he was like on their side. He was like trying to get some actual clarification. He was like, so if there's a trans guy, they're a trans girl, so a man that thinks he's a girl, and they want to date another man because he's a girl, is that a straight relationship? And the people are like, yes, that's straight. If the guy thinks he's a girl dating another guy, it's straight. It's like, okay, so if the man is sucking another penis, is that straight sex? And they're like, yes, that's straight sex.
No. No.
And it's at that point where most of the people in the country are like, yeah, dudes doing that to other dudes is
Not straight sex.
that's gay.
Right. But what about when a toaster oven does it? What is that? Is that straight sex?
Depends on how the toaster oven identifies.
Jeez.
Yeah,
This is complicated.
yeah.
So
if it's like the Brave Little Toaster,
Right.
that's probably a boy.
Okay. So still,
Might be assuming a little bit much,
you probably are.
but
Did you use the correct pronoun?
he does have a slot.
Jeez. That's tough. That's a good point. I'm no longer a toaster oven. I'm
Immersion blender.
a spatula.
Steve identifies as a spatula.
I don't know what to say about all this.
It's probably racist.
I just don't. Boy's a boy, girl's a girl.
Why can't we just leave it at that? They're like, gender is different from sex.
No.
Well, then you're making up the word gender,
Yeah.
and you can, sure. If you want that to be whatever you want it to be, great. What sex are you?
Right. I guess I'll get rid of gender on your.
Yeah, you can call it, fine, take gender. I don't care.
Right.
You want to be a toaster oven? Sure. Are you a boy toaster oven or a girl toaster oven?
I'm still female. Okay, female.
Yeah,
Moving
okay.
on.
That's
Jeez.
all.
Get rid of gender out of
We
the
could have
dictionary.
stopped the conversation
Right.
right there.
I don't care if you're an inanimate object, female or male. Just what sex are you?
Yeah.
What has biology and science dictated that you are coming into this world? I have a penis, I guess. Okay, you are a male.
That's all we wanted to know.
Jeez. All right, next in line. Ugh.
They're just de-assembling everything.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It's nut job. It's crazy.
It's craziness.
But
Speaking of craziness,
Kim Jong-un is male.
that's what I was going to say.
He's not, you know,
There's no question about that.
right. I don't think he's saying whether or not he's female or male.
Although he's got some boobs.
Big ones. So did his father and his father before him.
Well, they're well fed.
What do you think about bastards? Well, as people starve. What do you think about all this? South Korean President Kim Jong-un and North Korean President Moon Jae-in,
I think.
April 27th, they have their beginnings of a Korean peace summit.
I mean, I said it before. Tepid optimism.
Right.
I stick with it to this point. I mean, it could be a show. There could be things that they're trying to do, and this is just the best way to manipulate people. But that being said,
It
I
is,
think
I guess, a step in the right direction.
Trump is strong-arming China,
Right.
and China is the hand in the puppet of North America, or
Right.
North Korea. North Korea.
I hope not North America.
That would be a huge turn of events.
You see, like, maybe I'm just a pessimist, but I just see it as it totally being a bunch of crap.
I mean, there's no reason for you to think otherwise.
Right. I just don't. Kim Jong-un, your dad was Kim Jong-il, and his dad was Kim Il-sung, and they were both some of the most brutal dictators ever on this planet. To all of a sudden be like, hey,
Let's be
let's
friends.
reunite.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. Come on. Yeah, I'll stop my nuclear testing program, and we'll open up the border, and we can all reunify.
Yeah.
No. Bullshit.
I mean, coming from a country that still has concentration camps, basically,
right.
I understand why you wouldn't believe him.
At all.
And I don't believe him at all
No.
either. But I think enough pressure is being put on him from all sides that it's pointing him in the right direction.
Right.
So,
And honestly, I think Kim Jong-un understands American politics maybe better than some Americans do.
yeah.
Because he's going to come out and be like, look at me. I crossed the border. I shook hands. I planted this dumbass tree.
Took a picture with Trump.
He's going to get the Nobel Peace fucking Prize.
Yeah.
It's not going to go to Trump. It's going to
Oh,
go
hell
to Kim Jong-un.
I guarantee you it will.
And my jaw will drop. Yes, the guy who has starved his people, is murdering his people, and is a brutal dictator may just get the Nobel Peace Prize. Share between the Koreas.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. 100%. If
Ass
this goes
backwards.
through, that's totally happening.
Ass backwards. But
It'll see if they get rid of their prison camps.
so yeah, the two presidents they come across the border, right? Or
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Kim Jong Un crosses, I guess, the DMZ, and actually comes, shakes hands
Mm-hmm.
with the South Korean president.
He's like the first Korean that's been
Which was amazing.
allowed to cross the border without being shot at.
Yeah, I've never
In,
seen Kim Jong Un like in live
some
television either, which
Yeah.
was kind of weird. I was like, this isn't like a propaganda video. Like, this is actually happening,
Yeah.
which was interesting in itself. But they planted this symbolic tree in the demilitarized zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
This tree, they said, was from 1953. That was the same year that the Korean War armistice was signed.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, how the fuck do they know that tree's from 1953?
You can tell.
Really?
Yeah.
So they were cutting open trees and counting. Oh, this one's from 1952. Fuck that one. 1964. Damn it! I think they just picked a damn tree.
I mean, you probably won't know until it's dead and they can like cut it and do
That's
all
so
that
stupid.
range,
There's no
but-
way those two dumbasses know that tree's from 1953. They found a random tree and they planted it. Oh, it's from 1953. This will look good for the cameras. Kim Jong Un, he's a great propaganda guy. I'll give that to him, but I'm calling bullshit on the tree being from 1953. We're going to save this tree right now, and we'll plant it because maybe this bullshit will end.
Next time a war starts, we're planting some trees.
Save a fucking tree.
And then we can sell them as war trees.
Right. Yeah, but coming out of this peace summit, right? Some of their goals is reunification of the peninsula. That's never going to happen, for the reasons we just said, mainly because of there's no way that South Korea or North Korea is letting its people go to South Korea. I just don't ever see it happening. Or South Koreans going to North Korea.
Yeah.
It would totally exploit everything that and expose what the North Koreans have been doing, and that's
100%.
just not going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to establish a joint liaison office somewhere in between the DMZ, I guess, where they can come and talk, which, fine. That's...
I don't know how they don't already have that.
Right. That's all diplomacy crap, so I can see that happening. They're going to allow families to reunify from the north to the south, which, again, I just don't really see that happening because of the stories that will come out.
Yeah.
Unless they kind of did one at a time. Yes, you can go. But I swear if you say anything, I'm going to kill your brother that's sitting right here, I don't know.
Yeah.
The denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. I don't believe that. Denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula is totally different than unilateral disarmament of
What's the difference?
North Korea, right? Because Kim Jong-un, or Kim Jong-un, Kim
Il-sung.
Il-sung, and then Kim Jong-il, right?
Yeah.
They've stated this before. Oh, yeah, we want the Korean Peninsula to be no nuclear weapons while they try to build nuclear weapons. So I just don't believe that rhetoric, right? And no one should.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, cautious optimism, grain of salt, trust but verify kind of crap, right? Another thing is, what do you do with the 25,000 U.S. troops still stationed there in South Korea? I'm willing to bet that Kim Jong-un is going to be like, get those guys out of here, right?
Oh, yeah,
get that
definitely.
presence gone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure South Korea is going to be like, I kind of want to keep some of them.
Yeah. That's going to be, I think, the real telling point of this is if they're like, yeah, we'll let the Americans stay while we work this all out.
Right.
Because, I mean, we've always been the peacekeeping portion.
It's kind of like the strong arm. There's like, don't,
Yeah.
don't fuck around.
You guys can get together. Don't try anything.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that'll be the real sticking point if they're like, hey, you guys get out of here. We got this. We'll be like, all right, well, bye, South Korea. It's been nice.
It's all up to you now, I guess. Again, don't see that happening. It will be interesting. I know the South Korean president, Moon Jae-in, is supposed to head up to Pyongyang, capital of North Korea, for a summit there or some kind of talk. So that'll be interesting. And then all this could eventually lead to a Trump, Kim Jong-un meeting. And that would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, chances are this is the only reason Kim Jong-il is even doing any of this. He just wants a picture with Trump. So he can go back to his people and be like, look how great I am. Everything's fantastic. I even got a picture of the president.
Right. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, love me.
I'm keeping
Or
my
else you're
nibs.
going to prison.
Right. So
We'll see.
like you said, it's a step in the right direction, but grain of salt, everybody. Do not, this is far from over. It's going to be years and years and years before any of this actually starts to resemble some kind of, we're on the right track, right?
Yeah,
But
and
step in the right direction.
This is a pretty quick 180.
Oh, absolutely. From saying that you want to threaten to nuke Guam to
We don't want to nuke anybody.
just kidding.
Take our nukes. We just
We were,
want to be
we were
friends.
messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a bunch of tests this year, but we're done.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I just don't believe it, dude.
We'll see what happens.
I just don't. I don't know. I know the United States has to keep the pressure on. You don't keep the pressure on, he's going to go back to his old ways. So
Yeah. Speaking of which, the whole Iranian thing's blowing up.
tell me.
I'm probably not as educated on this as I could be, but basically Trump said he was going to pull out or make a decision on pulling out of the Iran deal, I think by May 12th.
Yeah.
Which obviously he should. It's a garbage deal. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing is dumb.
Yes.
And Israel just came out. Did you hear about that whole
A little bit.
treasure trove that they found?
No.
Bibi Netanyahu just went out and did a huge press conference of like 100,000 documents and thousands of files that they found that basically were like, hey, yeah, Iran is not holding their end of this deal.
No shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Right.
And so Trump's trying to figure out if he's going to stay in it and like try and change it or just blow it up completely,
Right.
which could potentially destabilize the entire region. But I mean, let's be honest. If you lose a game of tiddlywinks over there, you probably have a risk of destabilizing.
I hate losing
the
tiddlywinks. God damn it! When I lose tiddlywinks, I want to blow up Israel too.
Thank God you're so good at it.
I know, right? Undefeated.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Trump and all that, because people think it's a good idea. Like, obviously, this was one of the Obama administration's like crown achievements was the Iran deal, and so
Crown achievement. Wow.
yeah, that's the best you got.
And we gave them money, by the way. I believe in that deal.
Pallets and pallets and pallets of untraceable cash.
Yeah.
So,
That was good. I like that idea.
Yeah, and we also gave them back some terrorists or something.
Yeah. That was smart.
Yeah.
That was good.
Number one state sponsor of terror.
It's diplomacy.
Let's throw them some money and
works.
give them some of their terrorists back.
Jesus.
Yeah. So hopefully he gets rid of it and we start from scratch. But in the grand scheme of things, I think America's strong arming of these kind of rogue nations seems to be working.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is kind of going in the right direction.
Right.
I'm pretty pleased with it so far.
Like you said, cautious optimism, I
Mhm.
guess is the best way to put it.
That's all you can do. If things are going good, that's all you can do.
Yeah. But as long as the Broncos have a winning season, screw all this shit.
Yeah. Doesn't affect us.
No.
All right, man. Well, I think we got some chicken wings with our name on it.
Hell yeah, we do.
So we're going to wrap this bad boy up.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Take a listen.
Love
We'll
you.
be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.